Now, when it comes to workers' rights and unions, there's so much to talk about, and we're going to get to it. But before, we want to talk about a very important day that's coming up on Monday, May 6th, Labor Day. The Antigua Barbuda Workers Union will be celebrating and recognizing and observing that day in fullest with you, the workers of Antigua and Barbuda. I have here with me the president of the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union to tell us more about the activities that surrounds Labor Day, and of course, we'll also segue into a discussion on workers' issues, workers' rights, everything you need to know. Let's now welcome the president of the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union, Mr. Kem Riley.
Thank you, Brother Edgel, for inviting me to speak to the members and speaking to Antigua and Barbuda and far afield. I am sure that this recording will reach our affiliates all across the world.
So happy to have you. Special welcome as the president of our union for your inaugural visit to our podcast.
Yes,
Hope to see you around.
To be able to educate our members.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we will be doing more series of podcasts, even if it's going into the labor code and all the other items. And as you did say, we're now currently going to focus on what is happening now. 1st of May.
Yes.
Workers' Union has started even...
6th of May.
Well, I said 1st of May because we started even before the 1st of May, since last week, going around to the media houses, making them be aware of our activities that started even from Monday this week. We had more radio presence. Our theme for this year, Labor Day, is the breaking barriers, building bridges, ensuring social justice and decent work for all. See, we recognize that there are bridges that needs to be broken down when it comes to labor and any employment relations. So I'm sure that our theme can capture any kind of discussion. Ensuring social justice looks at women in the workplace that are not being given fair compensation as their counterpart, the men. So social justice must be given to those workers that are doing the same jobs and not getting the same remuneration.
Absolutely.
Decent work. The employment must have good, decent work, short work time, 8-hour work day, not have workers work back to back like in some of the hotels, because rest is a part of your life and you should not be captured and be in that work and feel well exhausted and not be able to perform adequately.
All right, so that's a look at our theme.
Yes.
And I think that captures, encapsulates the whole thinking of not just the local unions, but of course your global affiliates and counterparts.
Yes, because the International Labor Day theme is ensuring social justice and decent work. But the Workers' Union added some portion of it because we want people to understand there are barriers that needs to be broken down. And bridges that could gap all these social issues and in any event bring decent work to our members and more workers further afield.
Okay, so we talk about the media engagements that have been happening. What other activities are on the agenda?
As of Friday, we will be on the streets touching our members with a meet and greet, giving out pamphlets so that they can see what is the reason or why are the reason that you need a union. What is the benefits of having a union. So we'll be in St. John's, walking through to the streets, touching our members and potential members, because the union is always looking for membership. So somebody that is not aware that union is involved or available in Antigua, we may be able to touch somebody and they say, well, I always heard about union, but they did not take the chance to go and investigate. So we will be in St. John's from 3 o'clock, giving out pamphlets and meeting our members. On Sunday, we will be having a church service at the Sweet Wesleyan Holiness Church, starting at 10 o'clock, but we ask people who is going to be supporting us be there for 9:30 so that you can not interrupt the service while it's going on. So we're hoping that you'll be there even before 10 o'clock. Be seated. We will have reserved seats, so I'm sure the usher will show you where to sit. Monday,
That's
the
the
Big
big day.
Bang.
Yeah.
The Big Bang Theory. That's what we call it. So we will be having speeches from the officers and some of the executive members of the union, because we need to let people know what the union is doing, one, and two, the importance of the union. We want employees to recognize that on Labor Day, it is their day. It is not political day. And to how should I put it? Because I am very much aware that a lot of people think it's more a political situation rather than workers, because they see political party
Yeah.
marching with the union. I would say Antigua Barbuda Workers Union take charge of their march. We have Anybody can join us. We are not going to say you can't join us. So I'm sure the United Progressive Party will be a part of our march, because they are always a supporter of the union and they support workers' rights. So we will be having speeches from officers, myself, the General Secretary, and other members of the executive and staff of the union. And after that, well, even before that, we will be marching through the street when we bring the speeches to an end.
Yeah.
So the route for the march, and we will be having caution band.
Okay.
Caution band, young, energetic band, for those who want to dance and prance. We'll also have DJ J,
Yeah.
who with the subtle kind of music, the patriotic kind of music, and we're going up Newgate Street. We turn left by the government house, go around by YMCA, then around the roundabout onto Independence Avenue, and then we go straight across, turn right on Vivian Richards Street, where we end our rally down at the bus station, West Bus Station area. From there, if you want to come with us, we are going to Fry's Beach, where the workers' union has kids. We're looking for the young people. So we have bounce castle, face painting, and you also get a free popcorn. As
Okay.
long as you go on the bounce castle. We would have engaged that this is a thing that we do every year.
Yeah, yeah.
So that section for the children is owned by workers' union. Any other acts is owned by our supporter.
Yeah.
I would say the United Progressive Party. So you can be there to get all the enjoyment. I understand Caution Band will be performing down at Fry's. So even after they jam us through the street, they will be down there performing also.
Excellent, excellent. So now I want to drill down on a particular area that you covered earlier. And it has to do with the fact that, yes, Labor Day is the workers' day. But in Antigua and Barbuda, well, I don't know if it's unique to us, but we have what I would describe as a heavy political party involvement in Labor Day activities. And from speaking to persons, members, sometimes that seems to be a sort of turnoff for some people. How has the union been addressing that? Because you get the idea that some people, they don't want to be involved in their day, because it is their day,
Yes, it is.
because of the involvement of political parties.
Well, everything is political. Everything in the world is political. I agree that some unions allow the party to overtake the celebration. They do not allow workers to speak on their platform. It is more politicians. So I agree. But the workers' union has always taken the stance that we are the one who man our activity. So we can't get away from it. We need government involvement to pass legislation for workers. And everybody has to have a friend someplace to help that get done. We have seen during the 10 years of the United Progressive Party that there were laws put in place for the betterment of workers and even for unions. I can't say that we can see different under this current regime, because if you look at the media, you will see the attacks on the union from this current administration. But they are affiliated for many years with the Antigua Trades and Labor Union, and they will be a part of it. We always say to the workers, we do not tell you who to vote for. This is your union, your march. At the end of the march, you go where you want to go. If you want to go to Fry's, that's up to you. If you want to go to Long Bay, where there's no political involvement, then you go to Long Bay.
Yes.
So we're not saying, and we have never said to any of our members who to vote for. We always give, that's their choice. We represent, as Antigua Barbuda Workers Union, people that represent Labour Party and UPP, even DNA. It's unity in diversity. We do not, it doesn't matter who you vote for. We represent you, we do your negotiation, you are a member of the union. We cannot get away from that correlation between party and union, because all the people who vote in Antigua and Barbuda are either workers or employers.
Yeah.
So even though they vote for a party, they are covered by a collective agreement, and we must negotiate on behalf of them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be politics.
Yeah.
Not that the politician will ever run this organization, the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union. It will never happen.
Now, you said something earlier. You said that on the United Progressive Party, there was, I guess, legislative moves, policy moves that supported
Workers' rights.
workers' rights.
Yes. And even union, where they recognize that this, where some workers are part of the union, don't pay union dues, but get benefits that is negotiated for the members, would have been an unfair and unreasonable position. And they would have passed the laws in 2007 to change that. So you're paying the equal to the members, because you're getting everything. It's not that we can negotiate and say, because you're not a member, you can't get anything. We have to give whatever it is we negotiate. And the union would work hard to do those things. Other things that was changed is well, we will say that Social Security and everything, they started to increase for pensioners, and they did other arrangement, even school. I, as a father, got uniforms and those kind of things. So you can see they looked at, the small money that the employees are taking home, if they can assist by giving grants. So I would say that they looked out for workers in their own way. Negotiations, and most people would say, when your party is in power, you don't take action. I could tell you, I was one who had strikes during the United Progressive Party. Transport Board was one of the places. They came right here. Mr. Josiah, who is now working with us, he had to come and quell the situation because he was a general manager at the time. So it shows you that whether UPP is in power, Labour Party is in power, if we have to take action, we're going to take action. So I know the notion is you're not strong when you're the person who you support is in power. I am of the view that if you are my brother, I should be able to tell you you're wrong. And if I can't tell you that you're wrong, then the relationship is a one-sided relationship, and we don't believe in one-sided relationships.
And at the end of the day, the priority of the union is the workers.
Yes.
At all times.
All time.
No political party, no alliances, no friendships. All that is secondary to the workers. Where that can help the workers, it's good.
Well, and that's the only time we lean on them, is to get change in legislation for the betterment of employees, and no other. We don't get subvention from parties. This workers union don't get those things. We're not that close as people will believe. So even though they were in power, they never send to the workers' union a monthly subvention. No, we don't get those things. So it shows that we are a separate entity, even though we have a brother in politics.
And it's important that we bring clarity to these notions and
It,
ideas that exist.
it does. And I will say this, I am the president of the TUC. And we were in discussion with regards to putting a policy in place that the Labor Day rally moves off from who is the president. So which organization holds the presidency, then you move from there. I am the president, and I was saying to my executive, let us put this into motion. Let us move from workers' union. At least you will have the support. And as you rightly said, some of the members of the executives, they were clear that they're not, well, they're members. I don't think it's the members, I think it's the leadership that is not mature enough, because they're of the view that they would not want to affiliate themselves with UPP. And I said to them, even if workers' union was to come and march from Kernan School, our supporters, UPP, will be coming up there with us. So it's one and the same.
Yeah.
So, but as I said, the maturity of the leaders need to come to grasp that whether Labour Party supporters want to come with and move off from workers' union in their red shirt, we have no problem with that.
Yeah.
Because it's a workers' day. Whether
Yeah.
they want to come and represent the Labour Party, we have no issue. And that is what people must understand. We are not discriminating against who. It's a workers' day. So any workers, whatever color shirt you want to come and wear, we have no problem. Because what we're marching for is for better working condition for the members,
Absolutely.
for workers.
And any party, any employer, any individual that tries to infringe on the rights of workers, the union will call them out.
Any employer, workers' union, I cannot speak for another union. I could only speak for my union, workers' union. We will call out any employer who violates employees' rights and benefits.
Okay. So let's shift gears a bit. What are some of the prevailing issues that are impacting workers in this current environment where we are? It's 2024. The issues would have changed. This union, Antigua Workers Union, has been around since 1967.
Yes.
I suppose, and I know that significant progress would have been made on earlier issues, but over time, the issues change. What are some of the prevailing issues at this juncture in history?
Well, I think the new issues, and it's not only an Antigua issue, we have done, I would say, better than most countries, because I've gone to international seminars, and some of the things that they're arguing about, especially contract work and precarious work, Antigua doesn't really have that at the levels that they have it. They would have passed laws in Antigua that an employee cannot be placed on temporary contract if there is a collective agreement, the company is unionized or permanent in nature. When we say that to international people, they're like, wow, Antigua is, the unions in Antigua is doing well.
Because I'm pretty sure the unions would have had a say in developing those policies and legislations with regards to contracts, right?
So it was a discussion, it was held, it was repealed out of the labor code, because we recognize that companies, especially hotels, were using this temporary work situation to exploit workers. They give you 6 months, the job is still there, but they know if they give you a next 6 months, you will become permanent. So they send you home and bring another employee to do the same job. So we have situation whereby service charge, and the hotels who collect the service charge on behalf of the employees keep saying, the house is full, service charge is not what it should be, and they're always of the view that the employer is not giving the full amount of the service charge. Those are some of the things. Severance, and the severance came up during COVID. whereby a lot of employees had to wait a long time to get their severance pay. And this is why the workers' union has been in discussions with regard into getting a policy in place with regard to severance protection fund. I'm hoping that even when we do that paper, and even though UPP is not in power, that the administration in power would take it on board and say, yes, it is a good thing.
Yeah.
So that's why we say we must have a friend.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that is the case, because as I said, the workers' union is currently looking at ways and means as how it should be put out there. Where would it be housed? Who's going to hold the money?
Yeah.
Those kind of thing. How is the company is going to put that severance up for when the employee is either sent home or whatever it is. So I'm hoping when we do complete that investigation and put a white paper together, that when we approach government, whichever one is in power, that they look at it favorably, and we will be able to have something in place for future generation.
And also, I would have been following other things that is taking place as far as issues that impact workers. And one of the issues that I'm seeing that's being raised now is the impact of maternity, menopause, menstruation on women in the workplace. Now, this is something that has come from some of our affiliates, as far as they being the champions of that particular those particular issues. And I understand that we're also adopting those issues, because our members, workers in Antigua and Barbuda, are also impacted by these three M's, as they call it, the three M's. You can elaborate some more on that for us.
Well, I will say to you, Brother Jill, the reason why we have sick leave in place, or sick days, was the forefathers recognized that female, the first day of their menstrual cycle, may have a lot of cramps and pains and may not come to work. That's the reason. That's the genesis of sick days and sick leave. In conversation, they recognize, well, it might be discriminating against men, so they made it across the board. So sick days were brought into place because of females and recognizing that they had a challenge. I'm sure that a lot of women, during their having babies, would be happy to be out of work for more than 14 weeks, because 14 weeks is a short time for a newborn baby to now be sending that baby to daycare or whatever it is. I know in big countries, they be out for a year and plus, because at that point in time, the baby's hard. Women have to go to work, their breast still swollen, milk messing up their uniform, so they need to pump it out. There's no place to pump it. So yes, we're partnering with our Uni Global. They're sending us what they would have had in place, and we will be able to address management and not reinvent the wheel.
Correct.
Because they already have something. We can use their paper, address management to have appropriate area that the female can go. Not in the bathroom. Bathroom is not not sanitary for you to do that. So I'm hoping that we're able to let management recognize that these are real issues that female with a child, newborn baby, experiences. Menopause. Wow. Antigua is hot as ever. And you can imagine women going through menopause and the heat, and you hear them say, well, I'm hot, and hot flashes and those kind of things. So that will help them hamper work and help them not perform to their optimal. Because I'm sure that being away from work, their performance will drop. And we're hoping that management recognize that these are challenges that we're having. You know, funny enough,
and even mentally just coping with those physiological changes that are taking place. That in itself is a significant impact on a woman.
But Agil, funny enough, I was having a conversation with a female HR, and a young lady found out that she was pregnant, and the doctor wrote a letter, and the first thing they thought about was sending her home, because they don't want her to, and we're saying, find something lighter for her to do. And I had to ask her the question, aren't you a woman? Are you not a mother? because the way how you're treating the young ladies, like you don't understand what pregnancy is about.
Yes,
And
yes.
when you look at it, sometimes it's their own counterpart that is treating them.
Unfortunate.
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
So
Ironically too.
yes, and they are people. They are women and know what they will go through when they're having the pregnancy and maternity
Yeah.
and those kind of things. So sometimes I would say women are more harsher than male when it comes to those kind of things, because we recognize, oh my, your little sister, she goes through that, and you recognize she was in pain and whatever it is. So I think men are more concerned about these things
Yeah.
than female, who think toughen up, man, toughen
Yes,
up.
yeah.
Every month you see it or something of the sort. So I'm hoping that employers recognize that these are challenges and will quickly let us see how we can resolve, so that their female employees can continue to perform on the job to their best.
Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of progress that unions would have made, and we're speaking about maternity leave, but I know we as a union have made significant progress with regards to paternity leave.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, paternity leave is not in law. So what the union would have done is, in negotiations, we we have negotiated up to 5 days, 1 week. We're not able to pass that because employers do not understand that it is the wholesomeness of the family that needs to be brought together. The father cannot gel with a child if they are at work and the baby born, they're not there. Mother wants something because they didn't buy something to when they go, she's going up to the hospital, and she have to call a family member, or he has to leave work. So 5 days is a start, but we're hoping that in discussion we can move at least to a month, at least a month home with that child, with let that father gel. And in our society, fathers are being bashed. They're not
Yes,
there.
yes,
And the
yes.
reason why they're not there
Yeah.
sometimes because they were not intimately there when at the birth of the child, so that they form that bond. And we want fathers to form the bond. We want them to form the bond. So I think legislation should be passed so that it's not a negotiations, that fathers up to 4 weeks, a month. I think we can start at a month.
Yeah.
Be home with the child when the mother is out of the hospital and all kind of things. And I think we will have a better society in that vein.
Okay, sounds good. Now, switching gears again, you mentioned the whole idea of the fact that men are being bashed. What I'm about to talk about is not men being bashed, but unions being bashed.
Yes.
Because one of the things that I came across quite recently on social media, and it isn't the first time that I've seen it, I hear people saying that one of the reasons why they aren't so excited and thrilled about unions is because unions have failed them, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic, in that the unions weren't able to do much to stop persons from being forcibly vaccinated or else being placed out of employment. How do you respond? Up to very recently, I saw someone, attacking the unions on this particular issue. Why should I come out to Labor Day because the union wasn't able to help me during COVID? I was sent home because I didn't accept the vaccine, the mandated vaccine, that is.
Well, I think I started off our conversation as to who make laws. And even though the union, and I could say the workers' union, was agitating, we even took the matter to court, whereby, we were challenging that it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to tell an employee what to do with their body.
Yeah.
And as I said, if law was passed, union cannot change the law. We can we can effectively advise our members. We can take the matter to court to appeal it. But if it's not, It would not be a union failing anybody because it's the government who put that policy in place. We don't make laws. We can't change laws. That's why we have a friend. Maybe if it was a friendly or a worker friendly union,
Yeah.
they would
A
not have.
worker friendly government. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, yes. So a worker friendly government, then they might not have jumped to asking people and put a mandatory vaccination in place. They might have asked people and put it there. And if you want to take it, you take it, because then you're looking at your own self to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So if a person say, well, I think my immune is good, I don't need it, then they have that choice. But a person who thinks, well, I'm going to take it because I want to be able to be on the safe side, then I'm sure a lot of people have taken it. But the pronouncement of the mandatory thing, people always rebel against mandatory things.
Yeah.
If it was there, you have an option, I'm sure we would have had the same amount of people taking it if it was just put out there, this is better for you.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I think because it was mandatory, people rebel against things that are placed on them without their choice.
Yeah.
Give the information, give the education, let them take the choice. I've seen it on the Facebook page. I've seen people, but the workers' union during COVID, out of our welfare fund, would have had packages to our members. So workers' union recognize the hardship. The thrift fund for the employees in the hotel, the trustees is there. You only get it on retirement, but the union spoke to the bank and the trustees and say, give them half of what they have in there because we don't expect people to have money and die.
Yeah.
So the workers' union did up and above during COVID. Jolly Beach situation, and that was one of the hotels that took longer than normal to pay severance pay, but the union was there. The union even took the matter to court and those kind of things. So, as I said, everybody will have their different view of the union, and it's maybe because of their experience.
Yeah.
But all union is not the same. Some unions are quick to the thing. On a program with Mr. Carty, he labeled union officers as being lazy, and I don't think so.
I don't know which union he's talking
I don't.
about.
I don't think our officers are lazy. I could say maybe we need more officers because of the amount of workload that we have, and one officer having 20 workplaces is really a big feat. So I think that maybe we need more officers, and then we'll be able to give more representation to the workplaces. But I think what we have now, we are doing our job, and we have put things in place that we get our reminders and everything that negotiation is coming up. Make sure you send your proposal, go around and meet with your workers, your members, and we've been doing that since December. We went around to all the hotels from Carlisle Bay right up to St. James's Club. So this is something that Workers Union has been doing.
Absolutely. Kem, we could sit here all day.
We could.
Talk about workers' issues, workers' rights, talk about unions, the impact they're making on our communities, but time would be an issue.
It would.
So you'd have to come back another time. But before we part, what's your parting message to workers, especially as we head into Labor Day 2024?
Well, I will say this, brothers and sisters. You are the union. I believe everybody believes that the officers that work at the union is the union, but we aren't. The membership is the union. And without your solidarity, the union is not strong. If we're negotiating and you're not ready to stand in solidarity for what you want, the negotiation will feel small benefits. But as long as you're there and management recognizes you're championing the cause, we can attain anything that we put our mind to. So join the union if you're not members. And I would say Antigua Workers Union, we have a membership card policy that you can get discounts from providers around Antigua. So our union thought of more and giving back more benefit because we think membership is what matters. So join the union.
That's the message, loud and clear. join the Antigua and Barbuda Workers Union. Well, that's going to do it for us here on this episode of the Workers Podcast. Do remember, a new video is uploaded every Friday on our YouTube channel. Subscribe and like our videos. Thank you again for joining us here for this edition of the Workers Podcast. I'm Anderson Edger. Again, I want to thank our president, Kem Riley, for stopping by and being a part of this discussion. We have a lot more to bring to you on workers' issues, workers' rights. We're going to do a deep dive coming up shortly. So stay with us here on the Workers Podcast. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.